Before you go any further, take a breath. This isn't just a video. This is a moment created just for you. What you're about to hear is not scripted to impress, but to awaken. Because right now, God has something to say to you. This is not coincidence. This is divine. Welcome to Jesus Saves. And now listen, not with your ears, but with your heart.
My beloved child, before you take another step, before the noise of this world drowns out the voice you've longed to hear, stop for just a moment and listen. Not with your ears, but with your heart. I know there's a stirring inside you, something unspoken, something fragile, something powerful. You've wondered if anyone sees what you hide, if anyone hears the silent battles you fight. I do. I always have. Even now, as you sit there thinking no one notices, I'm closer than the breath you take. This is not a coincidence. This moment, this message, this encounter, it was written into your life long before you ever thought to search for hope. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. I've seen every tear you've swallowed, every prayer you've whispered in the darkness, every time you chose to keep going when everything in you screamed to give up. And here you are, still standing, still searching, still hoping that maybe, just maybe, something will change. And I'm here to tell you it already has. The shift has begun not outside, but within. I've been working in places you can't see, strengthening the very foundations of your spirit, pouring peace into the corners of your soul that haven't known rest in far too long. Don't be fooled by the silence. Don't mistake stillness for abandonment. I am with you in the waiting, in the wondering, in the wilderness. And I have not brought you this far to leave you now. My promises over your life are not fragile things that shatter under pressure. They are eternal truths sealed by my love and my blood. What I've spoken over your life will not return empty. Even when it seems like nothing is happening, I am aligning everything for your good. You may not understand the path you're walking, but you will look back one day and see that every twist, every delay, every heartbreak had a purpose far greater than you imagined. I've watched you carry burdens too heavy for your shoulders, pretending to be fine when your heart was breaking. I never asked you to carry those alone. I asked you to come to me. I didn't come to demand perfection. I came to offer you rest. Real rest. Soul rest. The kind that heals the wounds no one else sees. I want to hold your heart in my hands and breathe life back into your dreams. The ones you buried under fear. The ones you gave up on because the world told you they were too big, too bold, too much. Nothing is too much for me. The dream you think is dead, I can resurrect it. The faith you think has faded, I can ignite it again. You've asked for signs. You've begged for clarity. But I am not only found in miracles that split the sea. I am found in the whisper that tells you, even in the confusion, you are not alone. I'm the peace that comes when everything else crumbles. I'm the strength that rises when yours runs out. I've seen your efforts, the unseen acts of kindness, the silent battles for integrity, the quiet prayers of surrender. Not one has gone unnoticed. Not one has been in vain. I reward those who diligently seek me, not because you earn my love, but because your faith draws you into deeper intimacy with me. You don't have to strive to be seen, you already are. You don't have to earn love. It's already yours. I know the names you call yourself when you think no one hears. I know the fears that echo in your mind when the lights go out. But let me remind you who you really are. You are chosen. You are loved. You are my own. No mistake you've made can rewrite the identity I've written on your soul. You are more than the failures, more than the regrets, more than the pain that tries to define you. And though the enemy wants you to believe you're broken beyond repair, I want you to believe that nothing is beyond redemption in my hands. I restore what others abandon. I rebuild what seems ruined. I reclaim what was lost and call it beloved. You may not feel strong right now. That's okay. You were never meant to walk in your strength alone. My power is made perfect in your weakness. So bring me the broken pieces. Let me shape them into something beautiful. Trust me, not just with your words, but with your surrender. Not because you have all the answers, but because you trust that I do. You don't need to see the entire path to take the next step. You only need to know who walks beside you. And that, my child, is me. Always me. I will never leave you, never forsake you. My plans for you are not fragile. They are unshakable. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to be faithful. And even when your faith feels small, I count it as precious. I see the faith that keeps you going. I honor the hope that hasn't died. Even after all you've been through, you are worth more than your past, stronger than your fear, and closer to breakthrough than you realize. Don't look back. Don't give up. What's ahead is better than anything behind. This is not the end. This is the beginning. I'm doing something new. Even now, it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Your desert days are ending. Your dawn is rising. And though the night has felt long, joy is coming in the morning. So hold on. Hold on to me. I'm not done with your story. I'm just getting started. You've come this far, and that means something. Even if your heart still questions, even if your steps feel hesitant, you are walking forward, and that's enough for today. I see how you rise each morning despite the weight you carry. You don't need to prove your worth to me. I knew it before you were formed. I placed greatness within you long before you could recognize it for yourself. But now is the time to see it. Now is the moment I want you to open your eyes. Not just the ones on your face, but the ones on your spirit. I want you to see the truth that has always surrounded you, even when the lies seemed louder. You are not disqualified. You are not damaged goods. What happened to you, what you did or failed to do, does not erase your name from my heart. I am not keeping a record of your failures. I am keeping track of your return. Every time you turn toward me, even with trembling, even with doubt, I rejoice. I don't require perfection. I ask for connection. I want you near. I long for your voice, your thoughts, your tears, your laughter. I made you for relationship, not religion. I made you to walk with me, not to perform for me. When others turned away, I didn't. When the world grew quiet, I leaned in. I've been there in the mess, in the confusion, in the broken places. I was there the moment your dreams cracked beneath the pressure. I was there when you sat silently, staring at the ceiling, wondering if anything would ever change. I saw you. I see you still. Not as a problem to be solved, but as a story still unfolding. A story that I am deeply involved in writing. And I write with intention. I don't rush through the chapters of your life. I savor them. Even the ones you want to skip over, the painful parts, the confusing turns, the seasons that felt like silence, they matter. They are not wasted. They are the very places where I planted strength in you. And though you didn't feel it growing at the time, now it begins to rise. Slowly, steadily, like dawn through mist. That strength, that quiet resilience you're just beginning to notice, comes from me. You didn't earn it. You inherited it the moment you became mine. You ask me how to move forward. You ask if you'll ever feel whole again. My answer is not vague. My answer is not far off. It's here. I will guide you with wisdom that the world cannot give and fill you with peace that makes no sense to those watching your life from the outside. They won't understand how you still smile, how you still hope. But I do. I give you that smile. I anchor that hope. I breathe that courage into your lungs. You were not made to be invisible. You were not made to remain in hiding. I've called you into light. Not the harsh light of judgment, but the warm glow of truth and belonging. Yes, you belong. You belong not because you've done everything right, but because I have made you mine. You are my child, and I will never tire of calling you that. Say it aloud if you must. Let your own voice remind your soul. I am God's child. I am loved, held, and chosen. The wounds you carry, they are real, and I do not ignore them. But I also know this: wounds do not define you. They are not your identity. They are evidence of survival. And with me, survival gives way to revival. You are not merely getting by. You are being transformed. Even now, healing flows through the cracks. Where you were once broken, I will make you whole in a way that shines even brighter than before. I'm not asking you to forget what happened. I'm asking you to bring it to me. Let me redeem it. Let me reshape the pain into wisdom, the sorrow into compassion, the waiting into deep wells of faith. Nothing is wasted when it's placed in my hands. Nothing. Not a single tear. Not a single delay. Not a single unanswered prayer. Everything you've endured has been seen and counted. And now the time has come for rebuilding. I want to build something new with you, but first, I need you to trust me with what remains. The pieces you've guarded, the parts you've hidden, the emotions you've labeled too messy for anyone to see. Give them to me. I will not shame you. I will not reject you. I will hold them the way I hold your heart. Carefully, fully, forever. I've walked with you through the nights no one else knew about. I've heard the thoughts you never said aloud. And still, my voice speaks this over you. Peace. Be still. I am here. I am not leaving. And I will never grow weary of reminding you who you are. You are light in dark places. You are a carrier of hope. You are a reflection of my image. You carry eternity within you. I crafted you with eternity in mind. This moment is part of it. What you choose now matters, not to earn love, but to walk in it. Choose courage. Choose to believe that I am doing more than you can see. Choose to keep walking even when the road curves unexpectedly. I am not only at the destination, I am in every step. When you feel overwhelmed, sit with me. When fear whispers, turn up the volume of my promises. When doubt lingers, speak the truth until it drowns out the noise. My word is living. My presence is real. I am not a distant idea. I am the breath in your lungs and the fire in your spirit. Let that fire rise. Let it burn away the lies that said you were too far gone. Let it ignite a faith that says, even now, God is working. And yes, I am. Even now. Even in this very moment, while you wonder how this could possibly be for you, I am weaving grace into your story. I am restoring what was taken. I am lifting you above the weight of fear and placing you on solid ground. My strength will carry you. My joy will become your strength. You don't have to pretend to be strong. Just be honest. Be open. Be willing. That's all I need. I'll do the rest. So breathe again. Believe again. Begin again. Your life is not a problem to be fixed. It is a miracle unfolding in real time. And I am with you through it all. You've been searching for something deeper, haven't you? Not just a fleeting moment of relief, not just a temporary calm, but something real, something that stays. And I know that search has led you through places that left you feeling more lost than found, more weary than renewed. You've tasted hope, but it felt like it vanished the moment life struck again. And I see that ache in you, the one that asks, God, is there really more than this? Yes, my child, there is. There's more than survival. There's more than empty striving. There's more than barely making it through the day. You were not created to merely endure life. You were created to live it abundantly, to walk with strength and dignity, to wake each morning with expectation, not dread. That desire inside you for something greater, it was planted there by me. It is not a flaw. It is a seed, and I intend for it to grow. But here's what you must understand. The path to abundance doesn't always look like what the world calls success. Sometimes it begins in the shadows, in the quiet surrender when no one else is watching. Sometimes it looks like choosing peace instead of revenge, choosing trust instead of control, choosing to love even when your heart still bears the bruises. The world will not always understand the choices I ask you to make. That's okay. You don't live for their applause. You live for my voice. The voice that speaks purpose into your pain and strength into your struggle. When you feel like you're standing at a crossroads, unsure of which way to go, remember this: I don't send confusion. I send clarity. I won't always give you the full map, but I will always give you the next step. You don't have to see the full picture to know you're held by the artist. You don't need all the answers to walk forward in faith. Just keep moving with me, and you'll discover that every step you take with trust is a seed planted in eternity. I'm not concerned with how many times you've doubted, questioned, or even turned away. I don't keep score. I keep covenant. I made a promise over your life, and my promises are not broken by your moments of weakness. I am faithful even when you are not. So when shame tries to chain you to your past, let my grace break through. When the guilt shouts louder than hope, Let my mercy silence every lie. You are not too far gone. You are not a lost cause. You are my beloved, and I always come for what's mine. I've seen the way you look at others, comparing your story to theirs. You wonder why their journey seems smoother, why their blessings came faster. But comparisons will only starve your soul. What I'm doing in you is not second best. It's not delayed. It's divine. Every thread, every struggle, every waiting season, it's weaving something sacred. You may not see it yet, but you will. One day you'll look back and say, now I understand. Until then, trust that I am not wasting your time. I am refining you in it. And let me tell you this clearly. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where I need you to be for the next miracle to unfold. Don't rush the process. Don't resent the journey. I'm doing more in your spirit than you realize. You're growing. You're healing. You're learning to walk by faith, not by sight. And that, my child, is the kind of strength that can move mountains. You've carried questions in your heart for so long. What is my purpose? Why am I here? And I want you to hear me now without distraction. You are here because I chose you. I made you for such a time as this. Your existence is not random. You are part of a divine design that stretches beyond generations. I've placed gifts inside you that the world needs. Words only you can speak. Love only you can give. Light only you can shine. Don't underestimate the impact of a single obedient step. You don't need a grand stage to change the world. Sometimes the most powerful transformation happens in quiet faithfulness. When you show up, when you forgive, when you love someone who doesn't know how to receive it. The enemy wants you to believe that you have nothing left to give. But I say to you now, you are full. Full of grace, full of strength, full of wisdom earned through trials. You've been tested, yes, but you've also been strengthened. The fire didn't destroy you. It revealed what cannot be shaken. And I am building on that. I am building a life for you that overflows, not just with blessings, but with purpose, with meaning, with divine alignment. You've asked, but God, what if I fail again? And I say, then I will catch you. I will restore you. I will teach you through it. I do not shame you for your failures. I walk with you through them. You will not scare me away with your questions, with your fears, with your honest doubts. I welcome them. I want your heart just as it is, not polished, not perfect, just real. That's where our journey deepens. That's where transformation begins. Don't wait until you feel worthy. Come now.
Come Tayard. Come un certain. Come ro.
Just come. My arms are open. My heart is steady. My love is not up for negotiation. It is the constant in your chaos, the anchor in your storm, the light that refuses to dim. And if you hold on to that light, even when it feels like a flicker, it will guide you home. I am not the God who watches from a distance. I am the God who walks with you through every valley. I wipe your tears. I calm your fears. I whisper truth when your mind is loud with lies. You are not alone. You've never been, and you never will be. I am writing redemption into your story. I am breathing life into what you thought was over. And I am calling you to rise, not just from what hurt you, but toward what heals you. So walk with me, not out of fear, not out of guilt, but out of love. The kind of love that says, I'm with you, every step, every stumble, every sunrise, because I am, I always will be. I know how tired you are, tired of pretending to be strong when all you want is rest, tired of showing up with a smile when your soul is screaming in silence. I see the way you fight to keep hope alive, even when everything around you tempts you to let it go. You've been walking through your days holding your breath, waiting for something to break, something to shift, something to tell you that the battle is finally over. And though the world may not see the weight you carry, I do. I feel every silent ache in your chest, every breath you take just to keep going. And here, right now, I want you to stop striving and start surrendering, not as weakness, but as wisdom. You were never meant to hold it all alone. You were never created to bear the full weight of the world on your shoulders. I am here, and I'm strong enough for both of us. I see how the past still tries to haunt you, how regrets knock on the door of your peace, whispering what ifs and if onlys into your heart. But child, you were never meant to live imprisoned by yesterday. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the recipient of my mercy. You are not the scars that others see. You are the soul that I see, healed and whole through grace. Stop replaying the pain that I've already forgiven. Stop reliving the failure I've already redeemed. When I said you are new, I meant it. Not just better, not just improved. New, as in restored from the inside out, as in clean, as in whole. So lift your head, because shame is no longer your companion. I have called you mine, and I don't uncall what I have claimed. When you look into the mirror and only see flaws, I see beauty. I see resilience. I see a story that no darkness could erase. I see someone who has fallen and stood up again. Someone who didn't quit when giving up would have been easier. And that, my beloved, is courage. The world calls it survival, but I call it faith. Faith that refuses to die, even when it feels small. Faith that believes I'm still working, even in the silence. Faith that doesn't need fireworks to believe in fire. I've watched you cry and still choose kindness. I've seen you forgive when it hurt. I've seen you stay when it would have been easier to walk away. These moments are not forgotten in the heavens. Every seed of faithfulness you've sown, every tear watered by trust, is growing something eternal. You don't always see the fruit right away, but trust me, what's planted in pain can bloom in purpose. The harvest will come. I am not a God who forgets the faithful. I am not unjust. I am a rewarder of those who seek me. Not once, not occasionally, but persistently, fiercely, faithfully. And you, my child, have been seeking me, even when you didn't realize it. Even in the moments where you wondered if I'd left. Even in the silence that made you question whether I was still listening. I never left. I was speaking even then, just in ways that required your spirit to listen, not your ears. I don't always answer with loud voices and flashing signs. Sometimes I answer in the stillness that teaches you how to trust what you cannot see. So lean in now. Don't look for the world's kind of strength. The kind that never cries, never doubts, never bends. My strength is different. My strength is found in surrender. My strength lifts you up when your own legs give out. My strength is perfected not in your perfection, but in your honesty. If you feel weak, come. If you feel empty, come. If you feel unworthy, come. There is nothing you must fix before coming home. I am not intimidated by your doubts or offended by your wounds. I carry them with you, and in time I will heal them. I am not far away. I am not watching from the heavens waiting to see if you'll fail. I'm walking beside you in the dust, shoulder to shoulder, holding your trembling hand in mine. And when you can't walk, I will carry you. I always have. You think your strength kept you alive? No, my love. My mercy did. My hand did. My breath filled your lungs when you thought it was over. And here you are, still breathing. That's not coincidence, that's testimony. You are living proof that I still work miracles in quiet places. So don't despise the slow seasons. Don't rush the healing. What I'm doing in you now may feel invisible, but it is invincible. The roots of your faith are digging deeper, anchoring you for the weight of the glory that's coming. Yes, glory. Not fleeting joy, not temporary relief, glory. The kind that changes atmospheres. The kind that heals generations. The kind that reveals who you've always been beneath the lies. A warrior of light. A vessel of purpose. A temple of the spirit. I know you feel like you've missed too many chances. But hear me. I am the redeemer of lost time. I restore what the enemy tried to steal. I renew what was forgotten. What feels wasted in your eyes is still usable in mine. In fact, I specialize in starting again. I specialize in writing beauty into what felt like a mess. I am the author who never abandons the story. And your story, yes, yours is worth telling. So stop editing out the pain. Stop erasing the chapters you wish never happened. I will use them all. I will redeem them all. I will resurrect what you buried. And I will breathe life into what you thought was beyond repair. Now listen closely. This is not just a comfort. This is a calling. I am calling you to rise. I am calling you to wake up the gifts you've silenced. I am calling you to speak again, love again, believe again. I am calling you to dare to dream beyond survival. Your destiny was never to stay in the shadows. You were made to shine not for applause but for impact, not for fame but for glory. My glory, through your life, through your faith, through your surrender. I have not changed my mind about you, so don't you change your mind about me. I am still with you. I am still for you, and I am still writing something beautiful from every part of your life. Even now, you've been asking for answers, haven't you? Whispering questions in the dark, hoping I'll speak loud enough to drown out the fear in your heart. And though you think I've been quiet, I've been answering all along, not always with words, but with presence. Look closer, my child. Can you feel it? The way peace settles over you like a warm breeze, even when there's no logical reason for calm. That's me. The sudden moment of clarity that breaks through confusion like sunlight through thick clouds. That's me too. The strength to get out of bed when everything inside you begs to stay hidden. That is me, carrying you, whispering, "You are not alone." I know you don't always feel me. I know it frustrates you when your prayers seem to vanish into silence. But feelings were never meant to be the compass of your faith. I didn't ask you to feel me. I asked you to trust me. I am more than an emotion. I am truth. And truth does not shift with circumstances. Truth remains even when the sky is dark and the road is unclear. You can build your life on what I say, not just what you sense. My words are your foundation, not your feelings. You see, I don't reveal everything at once. Not because I want to confuse you, but because I want to walk with you. If I showed you the entire picture, you'd run ahead and leave me behind. But I didn't call you to a destination, I called you to a relationship. That means we journey together. That means I speak one step at a time, not to frustrate you, but to protect you. I lead you slowly because I want your heart to stay soft, your hands to stay open, and your ears to stay tuned to my whisper. I'm not a god of pressure. I'm a god of presence. And my presence is here, with you, even now. Not just when you worship. Not just when you feel holy. But in your everyday moments, in the traffic, in the kitchen, in the fatigue, in the tension. I'm not waiting for you to become someone better before I draw close. I'm right here with the you that's tired, the you that's confused, the you that's doubting. And I love you fully in this moment, not some future version of you that you think I prefer. Stop punishing yourself for not being perfect. I never asked for perfection. I asked for permission. Permission to love you where you are, to shape you in grace, to guide you with kindness. I am not ashamed of your weaknesses. I'm not disappointed in your struggles. I know them already. I've already paid for them. My blood speaks a better word than your shame ever could. My forgiveness is not conditional. It is complete. When I said it is finished, I meant it. That includes your guilt. That includes your unspoken regrets. That includes the heaviness that no one else sees. So release it now. Release the pressure to perform, the need to impress, the fear of failing again. I didn't choose you for your perfection. I chose you for your heart. And your heart, even in its brokenness, still beats with a longing for me. That longing matters. That longing is enough to pull heaven close. You are not a disappointment. You are a miracle in motion. You are the one I've called, the one I've chosen, the one I love without condition. Let those words settle. Let them echo through the hollow places in your soul. You are loved without condition. Not loved when you get it right. Not loved when you're strong. Loved, period. Unconditionally, eternally, faithfully. I don't change based on your mood, your mess, or your mistakes. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My love is not a flicker. It is a fire that never goes out. And I've placed that fire in you. You've been asking why you feel so restless. Why, even when things are calm on the outside, your spirit feels like it's wrestling with something deeper. It's because you were not created to live a small, safe life. I've placed something eternal within you. Something wild, bold, and holy. A calling that won't be silenced by convenience or comfort. You were made to carry light into dark places, not to fit in but to stand out. You were made to carry truth, not opinions. You were made to walk in power, not in fear. But here's what you need to know. The power you carry doesn't look like the world's version. It doesn't shout. It doesn't boast. It doesn't demand. It loves. It forgives. It lifts others up. It moves mountains not through might, but through faith. Real power is quiet confidence in who I've called you to be, even when others doubt you. Real power is choosing love over retaliation, peace over pride, humility over performance. And you, my child, are powerful in ways you haven't even begun to understand. So I ask you now, will you believe me? Will you trust what I say about you over what others have spoken? Over what your past has tried to dictate? Over what your fears insist is true? I have the final word, and my word over your life is blessing, not curse. Favor, not rejection. Healing, not destruction. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are exactly who I say you are, and that is more than enough. Come, walk with me again. Let this be the moment where you stop running from yourself and start running toward me. Let this be the moment you stop pretending and start healing. You don't need to have it all together. You only need to have the courage to come just as you are. I will take it from there. I always have. There's something I want you to hear today, not just with your ears, but with the deepest part of your soul. You are not here by chance. You are not living this life merely to survive each day, waiting for the next breath of relief. You were born with divine design, knit together in love and called by name before you ever took your first breath. Every thread of your story, even the torn ones, even the ones stained by pain, is being woven into a tapestry of purpose. You, my child, are not just loved, you are anointed. And I need you to believe that. You've spent so long looking for evidence of your worth in the eyes of others, waiting for someone to affirm what I've already declared over you. But external validation can't sustain an internal calling. The confirmation you're looking for doesn't come from the crowd. It comes from the Creator. And I'm telling you now, again and again if I must, you are chosen. You are seen. You are needed. You are equipped. You are mine. And because you are mine, you are not meant to live in fear. You are not meant to shrink beneath the weight of doubt or drown in the waves of comparison. The same spirit that raised me from the dead lives in you. That's not just a poetic line. It is the truth of your being. You have resurrection power flowing in your veins. That means you can rise from anything. That means no setback can hold you down forever. That means no scar can disqualify you from my purpose. But I need you to partner with me now, not just with words, but with your will. I've placed a light inside you, but it's your choice to let it shine. I've given you dreams, but it's your step of faith that brings them to life. I won't force your hand, but I will keep calling your name. I'll whisper in your quiet moments. I'll tug at your heart through songs, through silence, through the beauty in the mundane. I will never stop reminding you that you were made for more than just existing. You were made for impact, for glory, for love. You've waited for the right moment, the perfect timing, the clearer sign. But what if I told you this now is the time? Right here, in the middle of your uncertainty, in the midst of your questions, in the valley of your doubts. This is holy ground. You don't have to have all the answers to take the next step. You don't have to be confident, you just have to be willing. Because when you say yes, even trembling, even whispering, I can move mountains through you. You say you're not ready, but I don't call the ready, I call the willing. And I make them ready in the process. I strengthen as you walk. I equip as you obey. Don't wait until you feel qualified. Your qualification is found in me. You are enough because I am enough in you. The world will try to silence you. It will try to convince you that your voice is too soft, your story too messy, your past too loud. But I silence every accusation with truth. I drown out the shame with my song over you. I raise you from the ashes and clothe you in righteousness, not because you earned it, but because you are mine. And when I cover you, no one else gets to define you. Not your failures, not your fears, not even your own thoughts. You are not who they said you were. You are not who the enemy wants you to believe you are. You are not who trauma tried to shape you into. You are my child. You are a warrior. You are a carrier of peace, a speaker of truth, a vessel of light in a darkened world. You have been through fire and come out refined. You have walked through storms and still carry praise on your lips. You have not been broken, you've been reborn. So now lift your head. Shake the dust off your shoulders. The season of hiding is over. The season of delay is breaking. The season of awakening has come. I'm stirring the waters within you. I'm reigniting passion where it faded. I'm reawakening dreams you thought had died. I'm breathing life into places you closed off in disappointment. And you don't need to figure it all out today. You only need to open your heart. Let me in again, into the places you sealed off out of fear. Into the dreams you stopped praying for. Into the wounds you thought time would heal but didn't. Let me touch what's been untouched. Let me love what you deemed unlovable. Let me show you what grace really feels like when it's not just preached, but lived. Grace is not a pass. It's power. It's what carries you when your strength runs out. It's what lets you keep going when logic says quit. Grace whispers, "You're not done yet." Grace says, "You still have something to give." Grace reminds you that no fall is final, no failure fatal, no detour too far. So start today. Start with the little things. Start with a prayer. Start with surrender. Start with believing again. Not in yourself, not in your own strength, but in me. The one who holds the stars in place and still knows how many hairs are on your head. The one who commands the seas and still whispers softly to your heart. The one who sees all you are and says, "Still, I want you. I want all of you, not just your Sunday worship, not just your good days. I want your doubts, your questions, your mess, your silence, your storms. Bring it all. Lay it down, and I will give you more than relief. I will give you restoration. I will not just fix what's broken, I will rebuild something stronger. And you, my child, will become a testimony of mercy, a lighthouse in the fog, a living echo of hope. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not finished. You are mine. You've been walking long enough to know that faith isn't always easy. It's not always filled with signs and wonders, not always accompanied by a surge of emotion or an overwhelming peace. There are days when faith feels like a whisper in the wind, barely there, yet somehow still present. And I want you to know that I honor that kind of faith. The kind that keeps walking even when the road disappears. The kind that holds on even when the answers don't come. The kind that says, "I still believe, even through tears." That's the kind of faith that touches heaven. I see you in those moments, when you question if your prayers make any difference. When the silence feels louder than my presence. When the wait feels endless. And yet, you keep showing up. You keep opening your heart, even when it feels empty. That is what faith looks like. Not perfection, not certainty, but trust in the midst of mystery. A heart that keeps choosing me even when nothing makes sense. The world will tell you to give up. It will tell you that if something doesn't happen quickly, it never will. But my timing is not bound to the rush of this world. I'm not slow to respond. I'm precise.
I'm deliberate.
I'm working in realms you can't yet see. Every delay has a purpose. Every pause holds a lesson. And if you stay close to me, I'll show you that what you thought was silence was actually preparation. You haven't been forgotten, you've been formed. Not in comfort, but in fire. And fire doesn't destroy what is mine. It reveals it, purifies it, proves what's eternal. So let me remind you now, your story isn't stuck. It's unfolding. Just because you can't see the movement doesn't mean nothing's changing. Roots grow in silence. Foundations are built in secret. And the deepest things I do in your life often happen far beneath the surface. That's where trust is born. That's where faith is refined. Not in the harvest, but in the hidden soil where the seed waits for rain. You may think, "But God, I've waited so long." And I say, yes, because I'm building something that lasts. I don't do quick fixes, I do deep work. I'm not interested in performance. I'm interested in transformation. And real transformation takes time. Not because you're failing, but because I'm faithful. I take my time with what I love. And I love you. You don't need to rush out of the hard places. You don't need to escape the discomfort. I am in the waiting. I am in the tension. I am in the questions you don't have answers for yet. I don't need you to figure it all out. I only need you to stay close. Keep walking with me. Keep talking to me. Even when your voice shakes. Especially when your voice shakes. That is worship too, not just the songs but the surrender. And do you know what's happening right now? Your roots are growing deeper. Your spirit is being strengthened. Your eyes are being trained to see what others miss. The longer you walk with me, the more you'll notice the subtle signs of my presence. The way peace fills a room without explanation. The way scripture suddenly comes alive in a moment of need. The way a word spoken by someone else feels like it was meant just for you. These are not coincidences. These are kisses from heaven. These are signs that I'm with you even here, even now. You don't need dramatic miracles to know I'm near. You only need to pay attention. I am speaking in stillness. I am writing on your days with invisible ink that only faith can read. And as you lean in, I will train your heart to recognize me. Not just in the breakthroughs, but in the waiting rooms of life. That's where real intimacy is born. Not in answered prayers, but in the choice to stay when nothing seems to be working. That's when your faith becomes more than words. It becomes life. And I want to remind you of something else. Faith is not just about receiving. It's about becoming. You're not waiting just for something to change around you. You're being changed from the inside out. This is the transformation I promised. The renewing of your mind, the softening of your heart, the shaping of your soul to reflect my image. And as you walk through this season, I am carving strength into your spirit. A strength not based on emotions, but on truth. A strength that won't shatter when storms come, because it's not built on sand. It's built on me. The world may call it foolishness, but heaven calls it wisdom. To keep believing, to keep forgiving, to keep loving, even when it costs you, especially when it costs you. That is the faith that changes generations. That is the faith that moves mountains. That is the faith I am forming in you. So don't be discouraged by how long it's taking. Don't give in to the lie that says nothing is happening. You are becoming someone unshakable. You are learning to stand even when everything else feels unstable. You are walking in a kind of faith that isn't loud, but it is loud in heaven. I see it. I celebrate it. I treasure it. And when the day comes, and it will, when the doors open, when the breakthrough arrives, when the answer is clear and the promise fulfilled, you'll look back and realize that you didn't just wait. You grew. You didn't just endure. You were transformed. And it will be worth it. Every second, every tear, every prayer, every step. So today, don't just ask for answers. Ask for strength. Ask for perspective. Ask to see things the way I see them. And I will lift your eyes above the chaos. I will steady your heart in the middle of the unknown. I will teach you how to walk by faith and not just walk but run, soar, and dance again. Because this is not the end. This is training. This is foundation. And soon you will rise. Not just into the life you hoped for, but into the one I prepared for you before time began. You've been through enough darkness to know how sacred light really is. You've spent enough time in silence to know the power of even a whisper. And now something is stirring. Can you feel it? That quiet movement beneath the surface, like spring awakening in soil that seemed frozen. That is not your imagination. That is not wishful thinking. That is life beginning again. Inside you, around you, through you. The season is shifting. And though everything may still look the same on the outside, I want you to know transformation always begins in the unseen. There was a time you thought you'd never feel joy again. A time when smiling felt like pretending, when peace felt like something only other people talked about. But you kept holding on. You kept praying even when your voice trembled. You kept choosing kindness when anger would have been easier. And now, because of that, I'm bringing you into something new, not a repetition of the past, not a recycled version of what used to be, but a rebirth. A divine renewal. A life resurrected by love, rooted in truth, and carried by grace. You may wonder, God, how can I begin again with all this pain still in me? And I say, you begin again not by erasing the pain, but by letting me redeem it. I will not waste one tear, not one wound. The The places where you were hurt the most will become places of healing for others. The very scars you tried to hide will one day be the testimony that brings someone else into hope. This is how I work. I take the ashes and breathe beauty into them. I take what was meant to destroy you and use it to define your purpose. You were never meant to return to who you were. You are becoming something entirely new. Don't look back with longing, look ahead with expectation. The road behind you taught you how to fight, but the road ahead will teach you how to flourish. I'm not just calling you to survive. I'm calling you to thrive, to step into days that are no longer ruled by fear, but filled with freedom, to live with a heart that is open again, not cautious, not guarded, but brave in its vulnerability. That kind of life is not weak. It is powerful. It is holy. The enemy tried to convince you that this was the end of your story, but I never stopped writing. Even in your silence, I was crafting new chapters, chapters filled with healing, purpose, connection, and strength. What you thought was a detour was actually a setup for the miracle you didn't see coming. And now the page is turning, not because you forced it, not because you earned it, but because I said, it's time. You don't have to carry the same identity anymore, the one built by trauma, by disappointment, by fear. I am giving you a new name, a new heart, a new spirit. I'm not patching up the old you. I'm resurrecting the real you, the one I dreamed into existence long before the world tried to redefine you. And the you that is rising now is radiant, not because you've had it easy, but because you let me into the places that hurt, and I turned them into holy ground. So walk boldly now, not because everything is perfect, but because your steps are no longer your own. I walk with you, I lead you, I place your feet on paths of purpose. And I promise, what's ahead is far greater than what's behind. I know you've loved deeply and lost painfully. I know your trust has been broken and your hope tested. But I am the God who restores. I don't just return what was lost. I multiply it. What you gave in tears, you will reap in joy. What you surrendered in sorrow, I will return in abundance. And no, not everything will make sense at first. The journey ahead will still hold its valleys. But now you know where to go when it gets hard. Now you know what voice to listen to. Now you know you're not alone in the wilderness. And that knowledge, that intimacy with me, it is your treasure. It is your anchor. It is your inheritance. I've been watching you take small steps, steps of faith, steps of forgiveness, steps of obedience when no one was watching. And I want you to know they were not small to me. Every act of love, every choice to trust, every moment you chose hope over bitterness, it mattered. It mattered in heaven. And now, the seeds you planted in tears are beginning to break through the soil. You will bloom again, not because you avoided the storm, but because you stood through it. Not because the wind stopped blowing, but because your roots dug deeper. You have grown in ways the world cannot measure. And that growth, it's about to bear fruit. Fruit of peace, fruit of purpose, fruit of joy that is not dependent on circumstances, but rooted in my spirit within you. So step forward, speak again, dream again, love again, trust again. Not because everything is safe, but because I am with you. Because I am your safety, because I am your foundation, and I have never failed you, not once. Every breath you take now is a testimony of that. Every heartbeat is a reminder that you're still here, still chosen, still called. Let this be your new beginning. Not just another chapter, but a resurrection, a rising, a return to the person you were always meant to be. Bold in grace, steady in hope, and filled with a love that no shadow can steal. Because you, my child, are alive again. Now that you've stood up, now that the tears have been wiped away and your spirit feels the warmth of new life rising again, I want to speak something deeper into your soul. You were not just saved to be safe. You were not healed just to be whole. You were called, anointed, sent. There is something I've placed within you that this world desperately needs. Not one day, not someday. Now, this moment is not preparation for something distant. This moment is purpose itself. You've been walking in restoration. Now it's time to walk in revelation. I am revealing who you truly are, not who the world shaped, not who trauma dictated, not who fear tried to control. I'm revealing who I crafted before you ever learned how to hide. You've been learning to trust my love. Now it's time to walk in my power. Not a power that demands, but one that draws. Not a power that intimidates, but one that transforms. Your authority doesn't come from your confidence. It comes from your connection. And you are deeply, eternally connected to me. I know that even now you wonder if you're ready. But child, readiness in my kingdom doesn't come from perfection. It comes from surrender, from willingness, from the quiet courage to say, "Yes, Lord," even if I'm trembling. You don't need to feel bold to be brave. You don't need to have it all figured out to walk in obedience. You just need to know that I am with you, and that's more than enough. There are people waiting for what I've placed in you. Words that you haven't spoken yet, but I've already written into your bones. Compassion that only you can carry, because it's been carved through your own pain. Insight that's been sharpened by your battles. You are not empty. You are full of fire. The kind of fire that purifies and lights the way. The kind of fire that doesn't consume you, it fuels you. Let it rise. Let it shine. Not for show, but for salvation. You are the light of the world. You were never meant to be hidden. Stop waiting for a louder sign. Stop waiting for everything to be in order. The calling on your life is not postponed until things get easier. The mission begins in the middle of your mess, right where you are. The harvest is ready now, and I have chosen you to move with me, to speak when others stay silent, to love where others withdraw. I am not asking you to be loud. I'm asking you to be faithful. And yes, faithfulness looks different now. It's no longer just about surviving. It's about stewarding. What will you do with what I've given you? How will you carry this healing? Will you bury it, or will you plant it? Because what you've walked through is not meant to be hidden away like an old memory. It's meant to be multiplied. Testimony is seed. Your breakthrough is not only for you, it's for those who will follow. And there will be many. You will speak and not realize how deeply your words heal someone else. You will pray and not even know the chains that begin to break. You will simply live in grace, and that alone will disrupt darkness around you. That's how my kingdom works. Quiet power, unseen victories, eternal impact. And it flows through you not because you are loud, but because you are willing. So walk with boldness, not because you are fearless, but because your fear bows to my voice. Walk with kindness, not because the world deserves it, but because I've filled you with an unshakable love. Walk with eyes wide open, not just to the beauty, but to the need. There are hearts that feel like yours did not long ago. Tired, tangled in lies, barely holding on. You don't have to fix them. Just carry the light. Just reflect me. Just speak hope, and heaven will do the rest. Your authority in this world does not come from your success. It comes from your surrender. The world won't always understand it, but the kingdom of heaven does. And the more you walk in that quiet strength, the more you'll discover the real meaning of power. It's not control. It's not dominance. It's the ability to stand in storms with peace, to lead with humility, to love with no conditions. I am building in you the kind of influence that cannot be shaken, the kind that lasts, the kind that is born in prayer, formed in surrender, and sustained by grace. You're not chasing platforms. You're chasing presence. And because of that, I will open doors that no man can shut. You won't have to force anything. Just walk with me. Listen to me. Let me shape your steps. I will go before you. I will be your rear guard, and I will surround you with my favor like a shield. But hear this, favor is not always comfort. Sometimes favor is being placed where others can't go, so you can be the light they desperately need. Sometimes favor means walking into battles others avoided so you can bring freedom. You are not fragile. You are forged. You are not small. You are significant. Heaven has already endorsed what I've placed in you. You don't need anyone else's permission to live out your purpose. You already have mine. So take the next step. Not the leap, just the next step. Forgive again. Speak again. Serve again. Write again. Let again. Dream again. Don't wait for the stage. Start where you are. Impact begins in the everyday. Let your life preach before your words ever do. You have nothing to prove, only love to give. And I will be with you. Every time you falter, I will lift you. Every time you fear, I will steady you. Every time you doubt, I will remind you. You are called. You are covered. You are commissioned. Now go. Shine. You've come a long way. Can you see it? Not just in your circumstances, but in your soul. You're no longer who you used to be. There is a quiet strength in you now. A deeper peace that holds steady even when the storm rages. And though you may still feel unsure at times, though the winds still howl and the waves still rise, you do not bend the way you once did. You do not break the way you used to. Because now, you know who I am. You know who you are in me. And that knowledge has changed everything. This isn't blind faith, it's built faith. It's not a faith that needs to see the outcome to keep walking. It's a faith that knows the one who goes before every outcome. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of problems, but the presence of me. You've discovered that joy isn't the denial of pain, but the defiance of despair. That's maturity. That's what I've been building in you through every hardship. Not just a faith that works when things are good, but a faith that stands when everything else is shaking. And yes, it will shake. There will be days that feel like everything is testing you. People will misunderstand you. Plans will fall apart. Questions will come again and again. But now you have roots. Deep roots. Roots that don't panic at the first sign of drought. Roots that don't depend on the weather, but on the water source that never runs dry. That source is me. You've tapped into something eternal. And now, even your silence is filled with strength. Even your stillness carries power. I want you to know this: faithfulness does not always feel victorious. Sometimes it feels like showing up. Sometimes it's just not giving in to the voices that say, quit. Sometimes it's choosing to believe without fireworks or signs or feelings. And I see that kind of faith. I honor it. I dwell in it. That's the faith that moves mountains, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that stays. The kind that refuses to let go of my promises even when time stretches too long and nothing makes sense. You've asked me, God, when will it get easier? And I understand that question. But let me ask you something deeper. When did you realize that I am enough, even when it doesn't? That revelation is everything. You've begun to understand that joy isn't on the other side of resolution. It's in me right now, even in the tension. And as long as I am with you, nothing is wasted. Not the waiting, not the wondering, not the weeping. It's all working together, shaping something unshakable within you. Do not despise your endurance. Do not dismiss the strength it takes to keep going quietly. The world celebrates loud victories, but I celebrate faithful hearts. Every time you choose love when bitterness feels easier, every time you forgive when you're still hurting, every time you praise me through clenched fists and unanswered questions, I see it. I treasure it. I multiply it. That is where eternity breaks into your ordinary. That is where heaven begins to flood the earth through you. There is a weight to your walk now, not heaviness, but glory. A holy authority that you carry without realizing it. When you walk into a room, peace follows you. When you speak, it's no longer just opinion. It's influence, laced with the wisdom of fire-tested truth. And people will ask, where did that strength come from? They won't understand the wilderness that shaped it. But you will. You will know it was born in the desert, grown in the dark, watered with tears, and refined by trust. And it will draw others to me, not because you tried to impress, but because you were honest enough to keep walking when it was hard. So now I ask you to stand, not in stubbornness, but in surrender, not in pride, but in power. Stand because you know who holds your story. Stand because you believe I'm not finished yet. Stand because the wind that once threatened to knock you down now only makes your roots dig deeper. Stand because your endurance is a declaration to every watching heart that I am faithful, that I am present, that I am enough. This season you're in, it matters. You are not forgotten in the background while others take center stage. You are not overlooked in the quiet places. You are being prepared. You are being sharpened. You are being trusted with more. I'm placing greater weight on your words because you've learned to carry them with reverence. I'm entrusting you with greater influence because you've chosen humility over performance. You have become a vessel that can carry my heart, not just my blessings. And that is why you must continue. That is why you cannot give up now. You are closer than you know. And the things that seemed like detours were actually altars, places where I met you, reshaped you, renewed you. Your strength does not come from avoiding storms. It comes from walking through them and learning that I never left. It comes from looking back and realizing you are still here. Not because it was easy, but because I carried you. So walk forward, not afraid, not timid, not uncertain. Walk with the steady, unshakable confidence of one who has weathered the storm and come out radiant. Walk with the assurance that heaven backs every step you take. You do not walk alone. You never have. And every step now is kingdom ground. Come and rest now. You've carried much. You've fought well. You've walked through seasons that tried to wear you down to the bone. And still, here you are. But I don't want you to keep living like everything depends on your strength. I didn't call you to carry it all. I called you to come to me. I called you to lay it down. Not because you've given up, but because you've finally learned that surrender is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's trust. It's the language of the heart that knows it is held. There's a place I've prepared for you. A space not bound by walls or measured by time. It is the stillness of my presence. The quiet center of your soul where I meet you again and again. You don't have to earn your way there. You only have to come. Come tired. Come joyful.
Come un certain.
Just come. The door is always open, and I am always waiting. Not with judgment, but with joy. Not with condemnation, but with comfort. I'm not asking you to bring anything but yourself. The real you, not the filtered one. Not the version that looks put together. Just you. You've been striving for so long, trying to prove something. To the world, to yourself, maybe even to me. But here, in this place, none of that matters. You are not what you achieve. You are not how much you produce. You are not the sum of your output. You are loved simply because you are mine. Before you did anything, I called you beloved. And nothing you do or fail to do will change that. So exhale now. Let your shoulders drop. Let the thoughts slow down. You're safe here. In me, you are safe. Let the world keep spinning for a moment. Let the noise fall away. Right now, this is your sanctuary. This is your holy pause. This is your reminder that rest is not a reward. It's a rhythm I created for your soul. It's where strength is reborn. It's where clarity returns. It's where healing goes deeper than striving ever could. You don't have to explain anything. You don't have to fix yourself to be here. I already know every thought, every wound, every longing. And still I draw you close. Still I say, come. Not because you need to say the right prayer or feel the right feeling, but because you are loved. Period. I want to refresh you, to fill you again with peace that doesn't make sense, to whisper into the corners of your soul that you've forgotten to visit. Rest is not inactivity, it's intimacy. It's what happens when you stop performing and just let me be with you. It's where your identity is rebuilt, not on expectations, but on eternal truth. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not invisible. I see you. I delight in you. And I am not disappointed in you. You can stop holding your breath. You can stop bracing for more pain. This is not another battle. This is a beginning. I want you to understand something that will change everything. I am not in love with a future version of you. I'm not waiting for you to become more disciplined or more spiritual before I draw near. I am already here. I have always been here, in the chaos and the quiet, in the laughter and the tears. I don't need you to prove your love. I just want you to receive mine. And when you rest in that love, you begin to see the world differently. You stop reacting out of fear and start responding from peace. You stop chasing approval and start living from abundance. You become rooted, anchored. You start to recognize that what you needed most was never something outside of you. It was the presence already dwelling within you. My spirit alive in your spirit. That is your strength. That is your compass. That is your home. So let go now of the pressure, of the fear, of the timelines you've tried to force. Let go of the idea that you have to have it all together. I'm not in love with your performance. I'm in love with your person. I created you not to impress, but to be in communion with me. You're not a project to fix. You're a soul to cherish. I know the pace the world demands. I know the ways it tries to convince you that you'll fall behind if you stop. But my pace is not frantic. It's not anxious. It's not rushed. My pace is peace. My pace is presence. And when you walk with me, you walk at a rhythm that restores, not depletes. I won't push you beyond what you're made for. I'll lead you beside still waters and restore your soul. Even now, as you read this, I am pouring into you. Peace like oil over your thoughts. Grace like a river through your fears. You don't have to strive for what is already yours. You are already loved. You are already chosen. You are already enough. This is not the end of your journey. It's the pause that prepares you for what's next. And in this stillness, I am doing more than you can imagine. Let me carry what's too heavy. Let me speak into the places that ache. Let me be your rest, not just today, always. Now that you've found rest in me, now that your heart has stilled and your soul has remembered what it feels like to be held, it's time to rise again. Not rushed, not pressured, but ready. Ready because your strength no longer comes from striving, it comes from knowing. Knowing who I am, knowing who you are in me, knowing that nothing ahead of you is greater than the one who walks beside you. You're not stepping forward alone. You're stepping forward as someone who has been filled, anchored, rebuilt in stillness, and now called into movement. You've been still long enough to know that rest isn't retreat. It's a return to truth, a return to identity, a return to the presence that has always sustained you. And from this holy stillness comes holy strength. The kind of strength that doesn't come with noise or spectacle, but with clarity. The kind that sees beyond what the world says and walks by what I say. You've rested in my love. Now let that love lead you. Let it move you. Let it guide your hands, your words, your days. This next season is not about being busy again. It's about being aligned. You don't need to run in circles. You don't need to hustle for purpose. You walk in it now. Every step you take, even the smallest one, carries kingdom weight. You don't need a platform to make impact. You need presence. And you have it. I am with you. I go before you. I surround you. And I've already prepared the places you're about to step into. You're not walking into the unknown. You're walking into fulfillment. Of prayers once whispered through tears. Of promises I made and never forgot. I want you to see yourself the way heaven sees you now. Not as someone barely surviving, but as someone fully awakened. As someone with fire in their spirit and grace in their stride. As someone who knows their source and no longer bows to fear. You have been through fire, but the fire didn't consume you. It refined you. It purified your love, deepened your compassion, sharpened your discernment. You're no longer shaken by the same storms. You're no longer silenced by the same doubts. And that's not arrogance, it's transformation. It's the fruit of walking closely with me. Now I'm calling you to carry what I've poured into you. Not to hoard it, not to protect it, but to pour it out again. You are not a reservoir, you are a river. What I've given you was never meant to stop with you. It was meant to flow into your relationships, into your calling, into the spaces that feel too dry, too broken, too far gone. You're not going there alone, you're bringing heaven with you. You're not just stepping into the world, you're stepping into assignment. And it matters. You may not feel extraordinary, but obedience always is. Your yes still shakes kingdoms. Your whisper still echoes in eternity. You don't need volume to make impact. You need faithfulness. And you have that now. You've seen my goodness in the silence. You've trusted me in the waiting. Now let's walk together in the unfolding. This is not just about what I'm doing through you. It's about what I'm doing in you, awakening vision, sharpening focus, expanding influence. But it begins always with intimacy. Stay close to me. Let everything flow from that place. Your strength, your clarity, your creativity, your confidence. I don't need your performance. I want your heart. And when your heart beats with mine, There is nothing we cannot do together. I will show you what matters. I will show you where to step. I will open the doors no man can shut, and I will shut the ones that lead to harm. You don't need to force your future. You just need to follow my voice. And yes, you'll still be stretched. You'll still face resistance. But you'll face it differently now. Not as someone wondering if I'll come through, but as someone who knows I already have. You'll walk with quiet confidence, not because the path is easy, but because your spirit is steady. You've built your life on something unshakable. You've built it on me, and no matter what comes, I will not let you fall. So start. Start small if you must. Speak truth. Create beauty. Extend kindness. Live generously. Forgive quickly. Love deeply. Let your life be a reflection of what we've built in the secret place. Let it carry the fragrance of heaven into rooms that feel forgotten. You are my ambassador. My hands. My voice. My light. You are not random. You are sent. And I am not sending you out empty. I am sending you out full. You were filled to overflow. You were healed to carry healing. You were restored to restore others. And now this is your time not to prove anything, but to live in the fullness of who I made you to be. This is not a restart. This is a resurrection. You are not picking up where you left off. You are walking into something brand new. And I'm walking with you, step by step, breath by breath, glory to glory. You're walking into places you've never been before, territory unfamiliar, ground that feels untested. And I know how it stirs something inside you, something between awe and hesitation. You're wondering if you're really ready, wondering if the faith you've built in the quiet can carry you when the path is no longer clear. And I want you to know, this is exactly where faith becomes real. Not in the safety of certainty, but in the surrender of the unknown. I never promised you a path without mystery. I never said every step would be mapped before you take it. But I did promise this. I will be with you, not behind you, not distant, but beside you, closer than your own breath. So close that if you stop trying to force the answers, you'll feel me guiding your heart. Gently, steadily, always. You're not lost just because you don't have the full picture. You're not behind just because it looks different than you expected. This part of your journey isn't a detour. It's discovery, a sacred unfolding of trust, where what you don't understand is the very place where you meet me most intimately. You don't need to fear what's next when I am already there. I've gone before you. I've cleared paths you don't even know you'll need yet. I've protected you from things you didn't even know to pray about. And I'll keep doing it. So let go of the need to control it all. Let go of the fear that if you don't hold every detail together, everything will fall apart. It won't. Not when I'm the one holding you. You don't have to know what's ahead to trust the one who does. I've never led you astray. Every time you thought it was over, I brought you through. Every time the darkness felt final, I lit the way. And this time is no different. I am still faithful. I am still present. I am still writing your story with precision and love. You're not walking into this alone. You're stepping in with me. And when you step with me, every unknown becomes holy. Every uncertainty becomes an invitation, not to fear, but to faith, not to panic, but to deeper intimacy. I'm not asking you to leap into the future. I'm asking you to walk one step at a time with eyes on me. I'm not in the rush. I'm in the rhythm, and my rhythm is always right. I know you want clarity. I know you long for signs, but sometimes I withhold what you want to give you what you need, dependence. Not dependence on outcomes, but on me, because I am better than the outcome. I am the goal. I am the treasure. And when you realize that, your heart will no longer be shaken by what doesn't go your way, because you'll know you never lost what mattered most. You still have me. You always will. I've never asked you to understand everything. I've asked you to trust me anyway. That's where miracles begin, not at the end of your questions, but in the middle of your obedience. When you say, "Yes, Lord," even when you don't see the full picture, that kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of surrender shapes history. And that's what I'm forming in you. So don't fear the uncertainty. Walk into it with your head held high, knowing the presence that surrounds you is greater than the mystery ahead. Walk in humility, yes, but also in quiet confidence. Because you've learned to walk with me in secret. Now walk with me in the open. Not to be seen, but to shine. Not to impress, but to illuminate. The world needs the kind of peace you carry. The kind that isn't shaken by what can't be explained. The kind that says, even here, even now, I believe. And if you stumble, I'll catch you. If you hesitate, I'll wait with you. If you cry, I'll comfort you. I'm not just your God. I'm your shepherd. I lead gently. I protect fiercely. I speak clearly to those who listen with their hearts. So don't be afraid to ask me again. Don't be afraid to bring your confusion, your questions, your raw prayers. I welcome them. They don't push me away, they pull me closer. This is the walk of faith. Not perfection. Not performance. Just presence. Mine with you. Yours with me. Each step may not make sense, but each one is sacred. Because each one is walked with me. So go. Not because you see the whole road, but because you trust the one who does. And with every step into the unknown, heaven will echo, you are not alone. You are led. You are loved. You've come this far, not by accident, not by chance, but by grace. And grace is not fragile. Grace doesn't wear thin with time. Grace is what has sustained you through deserts and storms, and it will carry you through what's ahead. But now I'm asking something more from you, not because I demand it, but because I've deposited something in you that is ready to be revealed. Endurance. Faithfulness. Not the kind that flares up and fades, but the kind that burns steadily, even when the world grows cold. It's easy to run when the road is clear, when the passion is high and the vision is sharp. But now you're being invited into a deeper place. A place of perseverance. A place where you learn that strength is not found in your speed, but in your consistency. I'm not looking for those who sprint ahead and burn out. I'm looking for those who walk with me, step by step, year by year, heart still soft, eyes still fixed on mine, even when the landscape doesn't change as quickly as you'd like. You've prayed for purpose, and I've given it. But now comes the part of the journey where purpose is tested. Not to punish you, but to prove you. To reveal the gold that's been refined in the fire. To show the world, and even your own heart, that what I began in you wasn't momentary. It was eternal. It wasn't a spark. It was a flame, and it was made to last. So don't be discouraged if the progress feels slow. Don't despise the days of steady faith. It's not always about the next big breakthrough. Sometimes it's about the next faithful step. Sometimes it's about choosing love again, even when it doesn't feel noticed. Sometimes it's about showing up to serve when no one claps. That's where the kingdom is built. In the quiet, in the faithful, in the daily choices that seem small but echo in eternity. I've not called you to fame. I've called you to faithfulness. And what you build in secret, I will honor in public. What you steward in the hidden places, I will multiply in time. Don't rush it. Don't force it. You're not behind. You're right on time, and my timing is never late, never random. It's always right because it's always rooted in love. So keep going, keep trusting, keep speaking truth, even if only one heart hears it. Keep sowing kindness, even when you don't see the harvest right away. Keep guarding your peace, even when chaos presses in. This is how legacies are built, not in sudden rises, but in consistent faithfulness. You don't need to chase the next big thing. Stay rooted. Stay steady. I am doing something in you that will last beyond your lifetime. And yes, the journey will have moments of weariness. There will be days you'll want to pull back. Days when the weight feels heavier than your resolve. But even then, I am your strength. I am the one who lifts your head. I am the lifter of the weary, the defender of the faithful. I never overlook quiet obedience. I never miss a single tear cried in perseverance. Every time you said yes when it would have been easier to quit, I saw it, and I count it as glory. You may never fully see the impact of your faith this side of eternity. But I promise you this, heaven sees it, and I will reward it. I will multiply it, not always in the ways the world recognizes, but in the ways that matter most. In healed hearts, in restored families, in peace that passes down to the next generation. This is the inheritance of the faithful, not just blessing for themselves, but blessing that flows through them. So walk slow if you must. Walk weary if you must. But don't stop. Don't give up on what I've promised. Don't turn back when it feels unclear. Trust the one who started this with you. I will be faithful to finish it. You're not the one holding the story together. I am. And I have never dropped a single life entrusted to me. Not once. The world will try to distract you. It will offer shortcuts. It will lure you with faster paths, louder voices, easier roads. But none of those will lead you where your spirit longs to go. Stay the course. Choose the long road, the honest road, the road where your heart stays soft, your voice stays true, your hands stay clean. That's the road I walk with you. That's the road of peace. That's the road of legacy. You don't need to be spectacular. Just be surrendered. Just stay faithful. Just keep showing up. That's where miracles multiply, not in the spectacular, but in the steady. You are a light that doesn't flicker. You are a tree that doesn't fall with every wind. You are planted, you are steady, and you are strong, not because you never feel weak, but because you've learned where your strength comes from. And in the end, it won't be the noise that marks your life. It will be the fruit of faith, the fruit of love, the fruit of a life that didn't burn out, but burned bright, even through the longest night. You've made it here not just through the words, but through the wilderness. Not just through the message, but through the moments when you didn't know if you could take another step. And now, with everything behind you and everything still ahead, I want you to hear me clearly. I am still here. I've always been here. From the very first breath you took, to the quiet moments you thought no one saw. Through the fire and through the silence. Through the heartbreak and through the healing. Through the questions and through the breakthroughs. I never left. Not once. Not even for a moment. You've grown. You've changed. You've been transformed not just in your behavior, but in your being. The world may not see it all, but heaven does. I do. I see the heart that stayed soft when it could have gone hard. I see the hands that kept reaching out when they could have closed into fists. I see the eyes that still look for me, even when the world offers 1,000 distractions. That's what I celebrate. That's what I bless. Not performance, but perseverance. Not perfection, but presence. And now you know what matters most. It's not about getting everything right. It's about staying close. It's about never losing sight of who I am and who you are because of me. You are not the same person who started this journey. You've become a dwelling place for my presence, a carrier of peace, a voice of hope, a reflection of grace. You've learned that I am not only found on the mountaintop, but also in the valley. That I am not only the God who answers, but the God who abides, the God who walks, the God who waits, the God who never lets go. So if you hear nothing else, hear this. You are not alone. You never have been. You never will be. I've seen every step. I caught every tear. I've heard every prayer. And I am still writing your story, one that will echo in eternity. Every page filled with redemption. Every chapter stamped with grace. Every turn of the journey held by my hands. You may not know what's next. You may still feel unsure. But I do. And I want you to walk forward not with fear, but with fire. Not with anxiety, but with assurance. Not because the path is easy, but because the one who walks it with you is faithful. I am that one. I am your guide, your guard, your strength, your song. I am the beginning. I am the end. I am the voice that called you here, and I am the same voice that will carry you home. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be the strongest in the room. You just need to stay with me. Keep choosing me. Keep trusting me. Keep letting me shape you, hold you, use you. You are more powerful than you know, not because of what you carry, but because of who carries you. And here's what I want you to remember. I didn't bring you this far to leave you now. I didn't speak life over you just to let it fade. I didn't place dreams in your heart just to tease you with them. I finish what I start. I complete what I breathe into being. And what I began in you, I will bring to full completion. Not in fear, not in exhaustion, but in joy, in glory, in me. So keep walking, keep worshiping, keep choosing love when it's hard, keep resting when you're tired, keep returning to me when you wander. That's the journey, that's the truth, that's what faith really is. And you, my child, you have walked it beautifully. Let no voice make you doubt your progress. Let no failure define your future. Let no shadow of shame block the light I've placed in you. I call you redeemed. I call you anointed. I call you mine. And that is the final word. Even now, I am going before you. Even now, I am preparing doors to open. Even now, I am singing over you. Even now, I am surrounding you with angels, with mercy, with purpose. And even now, when you close this chapter, know this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new depth, a new strength, a new season. And through it all, my voice will remain the same, whispering, reminding, repeating what I've always said, and what I'll never stop saying. I am here. I am with you. I love you. And I always will.
You made it to the end. But this isn't the end. It's the beginning of something new. If your heart was stirred, it wasn't the video, it was him. Let this message walk with you beyond the screen. Let these words grow roots in your soul. And when the world grows loud, come back here. Subscribe to Jesus Saves. Turn on the bell so you never miss what heaven is saying next. You are not alone. You are seen. You are loved. And your story, it's not over. Until next time, keep walking, keep believing. Jesus saves. Always.